Why am I in just a chatting category? Can I edit that? Mid stream? When you go, stay alive in you. Bam, bam, do, 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 do. I will do. Rüsen. Maybe I'll create the game. Open, open, open. Creator selection is standard. Actually, I like the draft.
I do, if we're right about Sneaker having had no daggers in his first hand, that's sort of, I would say, doubly lucky for him. I have noticed that Gurney, it's a real advantage to group your daggers when you're Gurney, and not, that saves you from putting in one troop to be able to still trigger the ability rather than sort of getting a kind of inefficient distribution of them.
Sure. Do you think he's just going to concede this to Jimmy?
I'm not.
Jimmy's got 3 troops in right now.
Yeah, I'm really not sure. This is it could still be worth playing for this conflict, but having the 2 daggers, I would say, somewhat relieves the pressure on him from needing to do so. Do you know what location his contract is for? Can you see?
I know it's for water. It could be for Arakeen, but it is very hard to see on our monitor. It's possible that the viewers will be able to see the game even better than we are as we are casting it.
Look at all of those resources Frank has. What round is this?
Round 2. Yeah, he's gone to deliver supplies twice. He got bonus spice at Haga Basin.
Finished in the conflict.
Finished in first conflict. He's going to take some rewards in this conflict.
Yeah, very, very active start.
But if Sneaker does have 2 daggers, Frank's maybe destined for 3rd place here, but the Lady Amber special ability could work to his favor, right? He could retreat one of his troops, retreat to only have to pay 1 troop to take 3rd place.
Ah, look at this. Sneaker has elected to do a double Fremen round.
Wow.
So may have eyes on Worms himself, is also electing to play for this conflict, which probably makes sense, again, given the double daggers in his hand. You want to be able to leverage those if you can. He's going to be in 2nd position next round. He's going to be in a position to prevent him from getting into Siege Tabor if he wants that.
Yeah. He's probably afraid of Jimmy's intrigue card being a combat card. Because if he has double daggers and pushed in 4 troops, that's putting him at 10 strength and Jimmy's showing 6. So he's probably protecting against like a +3.
It's very conservative. There's not a ton of combat intrigues that can do that. And, obviously those are relatively powerful. Spending 1 this early definitely cuts into your value even if you do win the conflict. But okay, so Sneaker ultimately does choose to trash to the desert tactics contrary to Rob's play round one. Nope.
Oh, he tossed a dagger.
He took
Changed his mind.
Wow. Well, I will say that is a thing that makes the fourth troop push make more sense too.
Sure.
If you want to be able to trash that dagger, then you probably do need to push that troop. This also, unless I'm mistaken, is a desert mouse conflict. So this would complete match with Sneaker's VP or objective card to be worth a VP in addition to the other rewards.
Yeah, you win a contract. To take a contract if you win this conflict, and there's currently looks to be espionage for 3 Solari contract up there, which is one of the better ones to pick up early in the game.
Sure, yeah. Espionage and High Council looks like the other one to me.
Yep.
Doesn't have.
All right, we
actually
got
the
Palawan, we got
resources
Damjaba.
right now, but it's early. That's a temporary problem.
Damjaba.
If he does, well, it's almost certain he's going to get at least second in this conflict, which will mean a second trap.
Did Frank just buy that is a power card as well.
Yeah,
Ooh, look at that.
2 convincing arguments among
Corn City.
whatever else in his hand.
Oh, Shishakli just flopped, and Jimmy has 4. I would be tempted to get Shishakli,
Shishakli.
even if I don't have Fremen going. Because Shishakli is just such a nice versatile card. You can trash a card to draw a card, and you play it.
Wow, this early on, getting that kind of flow and deck fixing going seems like it could be really potent. And there's not another Shardagar coordination as the other 4 in the row.
Which is a fun card as well. Wow, those are both good. But if you pass Shishakli, you pass it to the person
With
potentially
Stilgar?
with Stilgar. Oh, Strike Fleet just flopped.
That got a crowd reaction.
Oh, Judy just said if you're betting money, bet on Secret.
Jimmy didn't say who he's betting on.
And he does get Shishakli with Stilgar.
Yeah, so Jimmy took the starter card coordination, and Sneaker took the Shishakli.
What just flopped? Oh,
Hidden Missive?
It looks like Unswerving Loyalty just flopped, which is another strong Fremen combat card. Really strong for Stilgar.
Yeah, that's definitely a card I heard
We
players
go.
talking about, and I think a lot of them sort of came up on their opinion over
All right,
the weekend.
first game of the day.
I think
Pause that. Damjbar picked Polytrades. Waiting for Palawan. Palawan picked Helena Rishis. I knew this person would be a popular choice for people because she is kind of overpowered. Oh, it's my turn. I'll pick Count Ilban. Again, mostly because of the mustache and the sideburns. Badass haircut. Looks like got pretty responsive players here. That's nice. I could get Gurney Halleck first round, potentially. but Palawan might. Uh, if she has the signet ring, she might put him aside. Which is quite possible. We shall see. Ooh, I got 7. I could get Lady Jessica. It's pretty good. If I revealed with the mint that. Besides that, you can basically just go here or here if those spots don't get taken. And maybe get Gurney Halleck. She didn't have her signet ring, so that's cool. I think what I'll do is I mean 3 troops for a no, I can't do 3 troops though. Best I can do is 2 and tie for second, which is sort of dumb. I think I'll just go here actually, get the Solari. And then grab Gurney Halleck. Oh shit, Trades had 7. How do you even do that? You might grab Gurney. Or he'll get Lady Jessica. I guess he has the signet ring where you draw a card. And then he went there, so he drew 2 cards. He had 7 cards revealed. And then he went there. So I've got 3 Solari, 1. To me, seems like a good play because other people are going to struggle getting troops out here. this turn. I'll actually get my reveal turn first. I would like this card. I also want to use this. I have one dagger in the deck. It's 20% chance that I draw it. If I use this. Don't want to draw it if I'm going to get that. What game is this? Dune Imperium? It's pretty sick. I could go the Mentat. I don't want to put any more troops in here, so that kind of like... Be nice to garrison a troop. I need to draw a card. More Solari would be good. Oh, that worked. I wonder if I should pay for the... Did you hear about the businessman who dresses like a woman on... like to travel abroad? Alright, so I got five... what do you call it? Influence? I think I will pay the Solari for the extra troops. Well, I don't know. Because you can pay 4 for 4 up here, so 3 for 2 is kind of a bad deal. Plus, not really. I'm going to grab Fremen Cap. And end the turn. Maybe I should put the combined chat, the overlay. Put it here though. Looks like I'm going to win this conflict. Got it locked down. Not sure how great that card is. I mean, I guess it's good if you have the Emperor Alliance. It's kind of shitty that I drew Gurney Halleck last round. So I would have liked to play him. Oh, know exactly what I'm drawing next round. kind of want that Chris knife if I can get it, and maybe get one of these guys with it. Uh, Not a lot of options here. I might need to grab the Mentat, draw some cards. I got no spice. Got no water. Yeah, if I don't get the Mentat this turn, I'm in trouble, I think. If I don't get the Mentat, probably the best I can do is just... Well, maybe I shouldn't go for the Mentat. I can get my third guy next turn. Actually, that's not true. So I only have 7. I need 8. I think I will get the Mentat. I will go for this victory point. But I can only do that if one of these spots stays open. By the time the turn gets back to me, and sort of a slim chance of that happening. Alright, so far so good. Oh. But I can do this. I can definitely do this. If I need to. I can get 4 strength, combat strength. Alright, so far so good. Nobody's going here. I have to draw. I don't really need to draw a card. Oh, big card here. The Worm Riders. Mr. Atreides is definitely going to get that. Looks like I played just the right amount of troops to win this. This victory point. Leto Atreides has already got 2 victory points just from moving up the Fremen track. Oh wow, he didn't get the Worm Riders. He got the Space Guild. All right, this is all very interesting. Uh, hey, what's up, Road Chase? I'm still trying to win my first game. Uh, yeah, I mean, this is my first game today. I picked up a few good cards. Got Gurney Halleck. I got Fremen Camp. Uh, looks like I'm gonna win this battle. Just trying to decide what to do here. I think I just want to go like right here. Some Solari. Oh yeah, Private Army. That's a good one. These guys play pretty quick, so that's nice. Nobody's left the game yet either. Server hasn't crashed. All right, I get to get the Worm Riders. Although I don't know if I want that because Leto already has the Fremen Alliance. Maybe I'll grab it anyway just to deny him. Yeah, kills the momentum. It's still pretty casual, I guess. There's no like lever penalty or there's it's not like ranked or anything, so people don't really care. If it was ranked, they'd be like, "Good, he left the game. Fuck him. Now I can win." But right now, it's like, "Oh, please don't leave the game." I almost won last night. Played a game before I went to bed, and ended up losing to a spice tiebreaker. I could have won, which was the painful part. If I had known it was gonna go to the spice, I could have had a carry all. I could have like racked up a ton of spice the turn before, but okay. Another turn. I think I should probably get some water. Wonder if I should try to win this one. Probably could. No, maybe not. I'll just go for the spice. Yeah, the injury cards. What did somebody else have like uh corner the market or the spice must flow or something? Or the whatever the one's called that has to do with these cards. Corner the market. Oh shit. Holding everybody up. Make sure you get faction access on your future card acquisitions. What do you mean, faction access? Oh, got it. Yeah. Should probably try to pick up Liet Kynes. Uh, if I can. Hmm. Still trying to get 8 Solari so I can get my dude here. These guys still need to go. So, uh, this is usually a good play. I think I'm gonna save the troops because she doesn't have any. The most she can deploy is, well, she could go here and deploy 2. Oh, really? A council? Yeah, probably right. But I've been doing okay acquiring the cards that I've wanted. Yeah, I guess you don't really need to get the Swordmaster early a lot of the time. Uh, and my character, the Count Ilban, is kind of incentivized to get the Mentat a lot because every time he, well, his signet ring gives you a Solari every time you use it, and then every time you pay, you probably know how it works, but every time you pay the fee on one of these green cards, you draw a card, so it's pretty good. Oh shit, they took Liet. It's okay. So my point is, probably makes sense to hold off on the Swordmaster for this character. At least that's how I've been playing it. But I think I'll draw my no. Never mind. I drew it this turn. I need to take the alliance. I need to take the Fremen alliance from Leto. Rushing Swordmaster can work too. It can get blocked off, and you end up having the money sitting around for a couple turns. Right. That's typically my strategy with this guy is to try to get Swordmaster on the second turn. Spin the water for the 2 spice, and then sell it first turn. Uh, for 6, and then second turn like go here for 3, and sometimes I'll try to do that. Someone forgot to hit in turn. Oh, maybe she was just thinking. Cheney. Uh, no, I don't play any other board games. I played Magic the Gathering for a little bit, and I played Keyforge when that was a thing. Uh, but I like board games. I just. How about you? Play a lot of board games? Oh yeah, MTG Arena. Yeah, that's a good digital version of the game. Okay. Uh, how can I get my? I have to draw here. I think I want to get involved in the conflict this turn. Um, hmm. I'll get +4 from that. Maybe I just straight up grab this spice. Pull away 2 troops. I've been winning a lot of victory points from the. Oh, tabletop sim? Nice. I have an okay collection in real life, but I don't have the crew to play with locally that much. Yeah. Yeah, there's some really cool board games that people are making now. I think I want the Gurney Halleck. Maybe I save him for next turn and I just draw the. Get another one of these bad boys. I'm gonna get Wingspan. Huh. I didn't know that existed as a digital. I think I watch a lot of people play board games like on the internet. It's the kind of the weird thing. Uh, but I don't play them myself that much. That's funny. Don't you like you play as like a bird in that game? Play as birds. Oh, I'm gonna use the double cross here. Oh, I don't need to do that shit. I got tons of swords here. Hmm. Oh, you own a reservation. Ah, cool. Yeah, it's funny. It's like you could slap a theme on any of these games. It doesn't really matter. Like, well, it does matter that the theme sort of like makes sense with the mechanics. But at the end of the day, everybody's just playing a game that is like sort of, you know, totally not connected to the theme. What's the engine building mechanic? Can you describe it? I wonder what Leto's thinking about. Gain of one. Ooh, we got Chome directorship on the board again. That card's so good. I think. I think this card's just stupidly like overpowered. It's like, oh, let me just take an entire four agent turn, like just by acquiring this one card. Basic abilities: lay eggs, draw new cards, gain food. Father, the sleeper has awakened. Oh, the awakened is falling asleep. And you kind of charge up those abilities by adding cards to them. Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. The idea of like charging something, like adding power to one whatever particular type of thing, I think is something people like. Every time you hit say gain eggs, you also gain a ton of other stuff. Hmm. Interesting. There you go. You got the Trump dictatorship. It wasn't even on the board for one turn. These guys are getting some good cards. Do you watch Good Time Society at all on Twitch? Yeah, it's I don't know if you know who Becca Scott is. She's been on YouTube for a while, but it's kind of like her own little community of board game players. It's not very big. Like they only get like 100 viewers or so. Yeah, she has a lot of. She does tutorials for like every board game that people play. Alrighty, I got Gurney Halleck again. I feel like I haven't drawn my diplomacy card at all this game. Or I've drawn it, but I haven't been able to use it. I'm trying to move up the Fremen track. I'm gonna try to draw some cards here again. That's what I like to do. There's diplomacy. You get some of these gunthopters going on. I like the gunthopter. Yeah, that's true. Board game content creators. It's kind of like a niche thing. Like one of her previous, I think every time she does a stream, they play a board game together or whatever. They they give away the board game that they were playing because almost every time they do like a new board game, and a lot of times the designer of the board game will be in the chat. Not a lot of times, but last time I was watching anyway, the guy who made the game was in the chat. So it's kind of cool. It's like, oh, hey, this is a cool game. Yeah. They were playing some game where like it's a co-op game where you guys are pilots and you try to like do the shit pilots do and land the plane. If you don't land, you crash and die. I need to get that Fremen alliance. That's all I care about. Although I could go here. I feel like I'm definitely gonna get at least 2 slurs. I'm just gonna go here. Yeah, yeah. It's called. What was it called? Sky Team. Plays an airline pilot. I was like, this game is like this board game is really like if the passengers had to take over and try to land the plane like in an emergency, and they have no idea how to fly an airplane. It's like it's more like what it feels like. Yeah, man. Good Time Society. Should give them a follow. usually in their chat, like cracking jokes, trying to make them laugh somehow. This game's pretty close. We're all tied up at 5 on turn 6. All right. I think I should get this. It's a good card. I can also get one of these. Let me grab this one. I feel like I should get the scout just to like get some cards moving through here. You know? Yeah, last week they played oh yeah, last week they played some Cthulhu game. Uh four they had 4 people. And I think the guy who made the game was playing with them. I didn't really catch the whole stream, so I don't know. Finally get my sword master. Cthulhu games, yeah. And like, I doubt hardly anybody has read the Lovecraft stories. It's like how they get so popular in the board game like RP realm. I've never read any of this stuff. I've Mansions of Madness, Arkham Horror. Arkham, is that a Cthulhu game? Arkham was Batman. Arkham Asylum. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, real place maybe. Yeah, aren't all those Lovecraft stories set in New England? I don't know. I really have no clue. I've never read any H.P. Lovecraft. I've been wanting to, but this one guy I follow who like researches really paranormal stuff on YouTube. He made a documentary or something about like missing people, and he quoted. He had an excerpt from one of Lovecraft's books that he opened with. Just sort of like a terrifying uh, idea of description of humanity's like vulnerable uh, place in the universe. If we like, if we were able to perceive, you know, how precarious our situation is as a species, it'd like blow our minds or something like that. Something like real crazy. Okay, finally got the Solari. No one's gonna go on the Swordmaster this turn, that's safe to assume. I got my Fremen Bond Chris Knife. That could move me up this track, get me a little closer to taking the Fremen Alliance, which would be good for me. We got 2 victory points here. We got this. I got 2 spice. I go there, I get 3 spice. I go there, I get 3 spice. But I use my water. But I have this. So I could go there if I wanted. What do I do? I think I go here. Pay this cost. Fully troops. Fire everything. Oh yeah, here it is. The most merciful thing in the world, I think, is the inability of the human mind to correlate all its contents. We live on a placid island of ignorance in the midst of black seas of infinity, and it was not meant that we should voyage far. The sciences, each straining in its own direction, have hitherto harmed us little, but someday the piecing together of disassociated knowledge will open up such terrifying vistas of reality and of our frightful position therein that we shall either go mad from the revelation or flee from the light into the peace and safety of a new dark age. Okay, so now I get my Swordmaster. Draw a card. Guess I should get that council seat. Maybe I should have got that first. Well, if I go here next turn, I can at least get a Gunthopter probably. Be nice to get Stilgar. I don't know if I can, possibly. Well, I could pay the water, I could draw 3 cards, but it's kind of a waste. Plus, Stilgar's probably not going to be there by the time I reveal turn gets to me. Maybe I go here with this Chris knife. That could be a good play. If I go here with the Chris knife, what do you think about UFOs as like government disinformation? Uh, like that it's like a psyop and they're not really aliens from other worlds flying around, but just something like the government controls. What do I think about that? I think it's more likely that there's aliens from other worlds flying around. Oh shit, this is a close battle with Paul Atreides. He hasn't revealed yet. I got this plot card. If I need it. I could go here, deploy some troops, or I could go there and spend the water. I go there, I get a Solari. Maybe I go here. I definitely don't want Trades to win this. I can use that if I have to. I get 2 if I reveal with just this. I think I want to go here. Like a lot of the books on Roswell written by ex-military intelligence guys. Yeah, that's definitely. Who knows why? Try to muddy the waters, cover up their own experimental craft. Yeah. Seems like a lot of effort to go through for something that might not even work in the long run. Holy shit. How did Atreides... Atreides is about to win next turn. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that the government. I think, it's, if anything, it's probably a real phenomenon. But then the government is like, okay, how can we sort of use this just to suit our purposes? You know what I mean? There's probably a lot of that kind of stuff going on. I think Bob Lazar, if you ever listen to his interview on Joe Rogan, I don't think he's lying about anything. I think he did work in a lab in a sort of like Area 51 place or whatever. And I think he did. I believe him when he says that he worked on these crafts and that they do have these like weird crafts that they dug up or whatever. Probably here from millions and millions of years ago, and they're trying to like, uh, you know, reverse engineer them, and they just can't because. Well, actually, he said that they were having some success, so it's. But yeah, I mean, if he is lying, he's a really, really good liar. But of course, yeah, there's possibilities he's lying. More credible than the recent guy they had on. I haven't really been watching Joe Rogan since he went to Spotify. Ah, fuck. Just lost this game. He just got too many good cards. Didn't win any conflicts. All of a sudden, he gets 5 victory points. I mean, what could we have done to prevent? He has 2 alliances. Yeah, it's funny. You got these people that are like super credible. Ah, whistleblower guy who they had before Congress. Very vague and slippery on JRE. Oh yeah, I'm sure they're like, oh shit, Bob Lazar came and blew the lid off everything. Let's you know, get one of our guys to pretend to be a whistleblower and sort of like smooth out everything that he revealed. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, yeah. Joe Rogan's probably like, you know, I thought Bob Lazar might be lying, but now that this guy who's definitely lying is on, I know he was telling the truth. Probably. So the government plan backfires. That would be typical. I mean, I don't even know how I lost that game. I just wasn't watching what Paul was doing. That sucks. Yeah, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, definitely look up David Paulides. Look that guy up if you're into like factual information regarding paranormal shit. He's a ex San Francisco detective. He was on the SWAT team and stuff in like the Bay Area. Um, and he he ended up discovering that people were going missing in the national parks in the United States, and uh, that it was a lot of people, and there was like a trend to it. And when he went to the National Park Service to say, "Hey, give me a list of everybody that's gone missing and was never found in the national parks," they said, "Oh, we don't have that list. That list doesn't exist. And if you wanted us to get it for you, it would cost $1 million, through a Freedom of Information Act request." And he was like, as soon as they told me that they didn't have such a list, I knew that they were lying, and that it was probably um, a secret because they didn't want people to know how much of a problem it was. Yeah, they find bodies. It's really strange. If you look at this guy's body of work, I actually I bought all his books for like $200 from his website. He's aggregated this huge body of research on um, people who go missing in remote areas of the world, and sort of the commonalities that reoccur in all these different cases, like throughout history. It's not just recent times. It's throughout like the past 200 years. And there's he calls them profile points. Like if you were investigating like a serial killer, what's like you know the recurring theme to the crime, and so he calls them profile points. And like a lot of times when people disappear, they'll find the bodies in these impossible places, uh, or they'll find children like still alive in places they couldn't have possibly got to. All sorts of stuff, weird stuff. He's definitely at the forefront of um, investigative journalism into the paranormal. Because, who knows what the government knows about all this shit. But he's sort of a citizen journalist, like just putting out everything he discovers on the internet. I actually met him a few times too. He goes to these different another area of research that he's in that's closely connected with the missing people stuff is well, UFOs, but also Bigfoot. Bigfoot is another thing that he's sort of an authority on. He has a lot of information on Bigfoot too. The way he actually has written his books is as far as I can tell, his sort of modus operandi is he just goes around the country to all the libraries in the country, all the different towns, and he pulls the what do you call them? The microfilms for the newspapers that they've kept over like since they started having newspapers, and he goes through them and looks for stories, like local stories about like uh, people disappearing, anything weird, Bigfoot, UFO, lights in the sky, and so he collects all these stories from these old newspapers all around the country, and that's how he does his research. That's how he did it, I think, primarily. Difference between people who put in the actual work versus recycling the established wisdom. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people who are just like ancient aliens type, like History Channel guys who, you know, they just love the X Files or whatever, and so they kind of like make a career out of talking about paranormal stuff. Nothing wrong with that, but uh, David Paulides really does not want to. Really makes the effort to make clear that he's not, full of shit. Add bleach to the food and throw it into the forest. The money will come to you. Okay. Thanks, Elenia, for that. Just talking about ancient aliens, Bigfoot, UFOs. One of the authors you like follows him on Twitter. Oh, cool. Oklahoma bombing. What? That it was like a inside job, like CIA op or something? Oklahoma City bombing. Like false flag attack type of thing, probably. Is that what she gets into in her book? Probably. Pretty much every theory, but it's like forensic examination of Timothy McVeigh's life. Cool. Hmm. What's the book called? Do you remember? Yeah, man. Everything, everything the media was telling people in the '70s and '80s and '90s is probably like 100% false. It's just like pure propaganda. Aberrations in the Heartland of the Real by Dr. Wendy Painting. Aberrations in the Heartland of the Real. Hmm. It's kind of a trippy title. want to play another game here. Let's async. I'll do async. A 3-player game. This active tab doesn't work. It's like a scene on Twitter. They call it parapolitics. This book is on their Mount Rushmore. Huh. Interesting. Parapolitics. Never heard that term. I think I might take a little break before I. The other book they love is called Programmed to Kill. Yeah, that shit's spooky. It's like that guy that apparently was going to do a mass shooting at the Colorado water park. Oh, it's about how the CIA caused the serial killer explosion in the 70s with the MK Ultra program. Wow. Like, why would the CIA do that? I guess maybe it just backfired. It's like, oh, we're gonna like use mind control. Outrageous, but it's also surprisingly compelling. Yeah, tell you the truth, man. I try to avoid worrying too much about, you know, all the crazy shit that the different government agencies get up to or have gotten up to in the past, and what all the elites of the world are trying to do and shit. It's too much, man. I'd rather just uh, study philosophy or something. Yeah, it's not a great rabbit hole. Yeah. I just dabble in it, take it with a pinch of salt. Lots of people are just captured by the paranoia. Oh yeah, yeah. It's kind of like a whole industry now of like uh, documenting all the evil shit other people have done and gotten away with in the past. Uh, in positions of power, and just sort of shocking everyone who never, you know, never would have guessed. Like if you look at my YouTube channel, uh, I've been reading Emerson. I've been studying all of Ralph Waldo Emerson's stuff. I have a playlist where I basically just read. I've been reading through his best works, which I think is a better use of my time than, um, you know, getting too deep into the conspiracies. It's cool. It's cool because uh, he's not that long ago that he was writing stuff, and he's American, so he kind of speaks our language, you know. Uh, but he was really well read on everything, you know, all the uh, ancient Greek and Roman literature, the Bible, Eastern philosophy. So when you read his stuff, it's sort of like in a language that you can understand. Uh, it's more modern, but he gives you like the essence of all this wisdom that he's acquired. So I definitely highly recommend Ralph Waldo Emerson. So what do you do, man? You seem like an interesting fella. I I'm just a programmer. Uh, check it out. So you got some Hemingway on there. Yeah, yeah. I got a couple of playlists from me just reading authors that I like. Hunter S. Thompson, Hunter S. Thompson and Hemingway are a little bit more, are way different from Emerson. But you know, I'm also kind of into writing and journalism, I guess. Yeah, yeah. I read all of A Farewell to Arms and For Whom the Bell Tolls on my YouTube channel. Currently a failing musician. Nice. It's a good choice. Used to work in IT. Ooh, audio engineering. Nice. Yeah, when I go to watch the bands play here in Daytona Beach, uh, sometimes I'll see the audio engineers in the crowd with like these like super advanced uh, like audio applications on an iPad. They're just like adjusting, like wirelessly adjusting all these different like levels and stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's like you must have a really good ear for, you know, sound to do that kind of job.
There's some a sort of inherent reticence towards towards low cost cards among some of the players. Uh, there's definitely a perception that some of the one cost cards in base Dune Imperium are a little underpowered, but I think players started to come to the position that this was not one of those.
Look how close this combat was, by the way. With Sneaker trashed that dagger, he probably tracked what Jimmy had used in the first round and knew that Jimmy was only going to be at 7 strength.
Fairly safe to say. Couldn't have beaten a combat intrigue, but no. I think it was reasonable to put yourself in that position. Jimmy only had the one intrigue card.
I'm watching this
certainly makes that dagger trash.
Dune Imperium pre-release invitational final table.
Sneaker did have exactly 4 and not 5.
Dune Imperium Uprising.
Strike fleet, so if he had trashed Dune like he had been originally considering, he would have had a dagger that wouldn't have helped at all in this combat and not been able to buy Shashak.
Watch Mr. Beast win this game.
That would not have been good for him. So
now,
good
can
call
Rob
there.
actually buy Strike Fleet right here? I think he has the ability to get Strike
What are we
Fleet.
looking at?
It looks like he's revealed a lot of
Well, I'm going to take a
seeing 5%
2v2 sort of version. I don't think so. It's still 4-player, free for all.
Spy. That spy is.
He's picking up Strike Fleet as if he's considering it strongly, but maybe he's considering Chani as well.
Yeah, that spy from Undercover Asset is.
Oh, he has 6. He's buying. Oh, he's buying Chani and Unswerving.
How does he have 6?
Yes, I am.
I'll just assume that the people who can see the game better.
Okay.
Making sure
I mean, maybe they have a 2v2 mode, but
I only saw 5. But
this tournament seems to be
I could have missed something.
we should say that Justin,
usual format.
My co-commentator here, was at the table.
Oh, they got these like
judging this
sandworm
game, so I think you can trust yourself.
Judging very severely.
tokens.
Yeah, you know, I certainly was doing my best, but there's a lot going on in a game of.
I think you can like
it's definitely possible for.
you can somehow get sandworms involved in the conflicts.
So Sneaker did take the Sneaker did take the espionage contract.
Mr. Beast keeps showing his cards to the camera.
Was in his hand, and he did get a spice in that. He got maybe 2 spice.
Can't ignore the camera.
He has the ability to send Bene Gesserit operative to the Bene Gesserit space. He'll probably send it to espionage.
Now, I'm not seeing another trashed card from Sneaker. Oh, here we go.
He was deciding. I think he's
I'm trying to get my buddy, my
I
friend
thought that was his
to.
new hand, but it's his old discard pile.
He's still deciding. He's not sure.
Install this game so I can teach him how to play.
Reconnaissance rather than his Dune the Desert Planet. So it's a fair choice.
So what do you think of Sneaker's position here? Like, he doesn't have.
I mean, I'm going to take
sources to speak
a
of. He just
break.
has one
I'll
more
probably come back and
he
play
has
some
2
more Dune
contracts.
games.
He has good cards. Is he in a good position here relative to the rest of the table?
I would say that, yeah, he's also moving into position. He's in 2nd position now. He'll be in 1st position next round.
Sure. And I guess he matched battle guns there, so he's actually ahead.
Sure. Yeah, so being this early position will give him good control over being able to complete those contracts. Definitely will want to be looking to improve his resource situation as soon as possible. The contract.
See you later.
That doesn't look like.
Let me give you a follow.
Bonus spice is going to be an option in the near term.
I like
Currently only
chatting
available
with
in
you.
the desert, and Frank already has enough water for that, and Jimmy's only one away. So it's going to be Sneaker would be hard pressed to find his way into that spice.
I mean, we can put him down there. I don't mind.
So Jimmy is first position reconnaissance to spice refinery.
He's got a big stack of Solari now,
I
right?
see it.
Is it 8?
Is it 8? That's the question. It's definitely at least 7 from what I can see. So High Council is an option for him if it's not 8. And interestingly, if it isn't 8, before he's gonna have the ability to have 8 and go to the Swordmaster, he's gonna be out of position. So if it's not 8, he could find himself very back pretty far in the queue on actually getting Swordmaster.
Right. Well, he's certainly shown himself over the course of this weekend to be a.
Where's my... The lobby I was viewing no longer exists.
strong player. So my guess is he's got Aethelar, and he's going to play the Swordmaster. He actually won 3 of his games out of the 4 rounds leading up to this finals.
Wow.
One of which was with Lady Margot.
So maybe he's just trying to get us all to sleep on Margot. Make sure he can always pick it.
Maybe.
Maybe he knows.
I didn't get a sense that he was toying with me when he when he gave me his answer.
Well, you wouldn't.
True. If he was playing me.
Just. That's a Stilgar play.
Oh, to where? Fremkit?
Yeah. Stilgar is also a really good reason for, if you needed another one, for Sneaker to have come into that conflict so heavily. When you have a powerful troop generating card, one of a failure mode you want to be careful about is just not playing actively enough for conflicts. There's a kind of, I think, an adjustment you need to make where you become kind of more feisty, and even conflicts where the rewards aren't necessarily something you might have been as interested in before. Once you have enough troop generation in your deck, that kind of sort of implicitly lowers the value of all your troops, which means you want to be freer in trading them for resources lest they start to stack up and you find yourself unable to leverage your pile of troops.
Makes sense. It's interesting how deep you can go sometimes with your analysis. Glad to have you on the development team.
I'm good. I'm a friend as well. I know we're supposed to be homies, but then you went and recruited still.
And now it's interesting here because Sneaker has essentially taken the lead on the Fremen track, and he didn't go to Siege Tabor, and he could have. He just basically chose to take another influence with the Fremen. Is Rob going to block him at Siege Tabor? Like, you have to think at this point that Gurney does want worms. He has access to Siege Tabor.